Hey everybody, Andy here with Nostalgic About Baseball. I'm going to do a submission video for Blu Ink's 100 subscriber giveaway. First of all, congratulations to you. I have not been a subscriber for very long, so I'm not going to pretend to be like some long-time loyal fan, but I am a new fan. I really do enjoy the videos that I've seen that you've been putting out. I got some catching up to do on older stuff, but I'm happy to have found you. So. Congrats though, I wish you many more. And the contest is to pretend like we're baseball writers and vote for the 2019 Hall of Fame inductees. So I've got some votes here, and I'm going to use 7 official votes, and then I'll use my remaining 3 to just list 3 guys I think should be in but who aren't. So here you go. So my votes this year would be number 1, Edgar Martinez. I believe it's his last year of eligibility. A career .312 hitter with over 2,200 hits, over 300 home runs. Just real solid all around, and I think he should get in, so I'm voting for him. Next, we've got the Moose, Mike Mussina. He was 270 and 153 for his career, 3.68 ERA, 2,800 strikeouts. But he was a dominant pitcher and a guy that nobody ever wanted to face. So I'm voting for him. I think it's his first year of eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. Another first year, I believe, is Omar Vizquel. And my stand is getting all crooked, but Omar Vizquel is a guy who not only was brilliant defensively, but who compiled almost, just shy of 3,000 hits in his career, 400 steals. I just really like solid defensive players, and he's probably one of the best defensive shortstops for sure of his generation, and you could probably put him even all time. So I'm voting for him. No brainer. Next, some other first ballot guys. Best closer of all time, Mariano Rivera, doesn't need much explanation. Just he's a first ballot guy in my opinion. Here's a guy who probably won't get in this year, but I think he will eventually, and I'm just going to go ahead and vote for him, Andy Pettitte. I like Andy Pettitte. I think he had over 2,000 strikeouts. I'm not sure exactly how many, but 250 wins. 3.85 ERA is a little high, but look, in that division, it's got to be a bit tough. And I just recall he's been pretty clutch in the playoffs, and with a ton of playoff experience, appearances. So I think he'll get in eventually. Why not just go ahead and put him in? I'm voting for him. Here's a guy who gets a lot of grief for playing most of his career at a high altitude, Larry Walker. So 383 home runs, you could say he wouldn't have had that playing for another team, and you'd probably be right about that. But almost 2,200 hits and a .313 career average. He was just, one of the best hitters of that time. So I'm voting for him. Here's a guy who needs to get in there, Fred McGriff. Crime Dog had 2,600 hits in his career, just shy of 500 home runs. And more importantly, helped the Braves win their World Series. So, what better resume do you need? So those are my official votes. Now look, just using my last few slots here to show a few people I think deserve to be in and should be in, but and hopefully will be eventually. So Pete Rose, obviously. Give the guy a break. He's just like one of the most competitive people probably to ever play baseball. He's super hard-nosed, old-school player, and all-time hits leader. And I don't know. I think he needs to get in. Put him in there. I don't know if he ever will, but put him in. Here's a guy who's used up all his eligibility on the ballot as a player, I think. But I hope he gets in as a manager, because I always thought Don Mattingly was kind of a Hall of Fame caliber guy. Another guy who was just dominant in his time period, the 80s. He hit 360. Let's see if it's on here. No. He hit 343, won the batting title in 84. At this point, his career average was 332. You know, I don't know what it ended up being. I know it's north of 300. He didn't play for as long as he could have, so some of his overall numbers aren't there. But I just have always believed that he was kind of a Hall of Fame player, and I still do. So, last one is, come on, just put the Murph in there. I mean, this guy, speaking of dominant, the entire decade of the 80s was off the charts good, and always led the league. I mean, led the league in home runs, RBIs, on base percentage. He always led the league in walks. You know, very likable guy, popular with all the players, and hope he gets in. Obviously, perennial All-Star, MVP. Just played for some really bad Braves teams, but he's a Hall of Famer in my book. And that's all I got. I mean, I'm not going to... I kind of was tempted to rant a little bit about these two dudes who both are good enough to be in there without... if they had never touched, you know, a substance of any kind. But, you know, we know that they did. So they didn't need to. They're some of the best to ever play the game, probably, but a bit tainted. Particularly Bonds, who, you know, really desecrated, like, a pretty sacred all-time record. So I still think of Hammer and Hank as the all-time home run leader. And Bonds didn't need to do all that. I mean, he was good, and he was good enough before he got all weird looking and huge, and Clemens too. But anyway, that's all I got. I don't want to get on too much of a soapbox. I'm just kind of against these PED guys, the known ones anyway. I understand we can't know who did and who didn't for sure, but that's just my votes, my opinion, so I'm not voting for them. You saw who I did vote for. And again, congrats, Blu Ink, on 100 subs. I wish you many, many more, and I look forward to being along on the journey with you. So that's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed and have a wonderful rest of your day.